Let's go. And we're live.
We are live.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another to the first season premiere
Back the
GXP
first time.
podcast. Back for the first time. This
Back
is
for the first time, indeed.
this is your host Ekis, and I'm here with my other peers. I got here with the headsets. Introduce
This
yourself,
is this is Stuff from Stuff HD, StuffHD.com.
and then
Uh,
from the then we got the brother from the down under.
This is Preem from Parts Unknown. No cameras.
No cameras.
AKA
He's
the Raven.
broadcasting. And guess who we have? We got a special guest. We got Vic in
oh
the house.
snap!
He
We got
came.
Vic.
He came right at the buzzard.
Mini
Yeah.
clutch.
Hey, can you
We're-
hear me perfect?
Yeah,
Hey,
we can hear
Vic.
you perfect. There you go.
All right.
Right on time. Never
Everything's
late,
been-
always on time. We're live, just so you know, so we don't curse. Try to keep it
Okay.
PG.
Keep PG. Hold on. I don't have my cameras on, but I'm a mess anyway. So.
And that's fine. No, you don't need cameras. We're the most unprofessional professional podcast
Hold on,
in
wait.
existence.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Podcasts are supposed to be audio.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to see us.
Yeah.
So how do I sound? I didn't even do a sound check. That's how unprofessional we are.
You sound great to me.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
If I sound great to you, that's all that matters. What are you
Oh,
saying? Anyways, we have a very exciting episode today. We're gonna be talking about
Very
games. What was that?
Very exciting.
We're so excited. Our energy is oozing. I just got off of a 12-hour shift,
I was just,
literally.
I was just playing something. So.
Oh, we were playing some Valheim.
Oh yeah.
Grinding.
Oh man, that game's addicting. We'll probably go into more details.
I-
But
I was playing a different game. I was playing with my servers.
I thought you were saying they were gonna say you're playing with your joystick. But all right,
No.
Not yet, no. Let's see how the podcast goes.
that's after midnight. All right, so first in the
Playing
docket.
with the virtual boy.
Oh yeah, we got the virtual boy in the back from the resurrection. It still works. Do you have any games for it?
I have a couple. Yeah, I get
Didn't you at one time
like
almost?
literally a couple. I got Mario Tennis. I
Is it
got Teleboxer, and then inside it I have Wario. What is it? Wario
Best
Land.
game.
Which is the only game that matters, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this is really
Pretty
the
much.
only game that matters.
That one, the tennis one wasn't too bad, but the tennis one gives you a headache. I remember playing that.
They all give you a headache if you play for longer than 10 minutes.
All right,
Yeah,
wait.
It's a feature.
All right, there we go. That could be a first impromptu topic. Should Nintendo bring back the Virtual Boy now that virtual reality is? Do you think it's a fad or do you think it's here to stay?
I don't know, man. Like I've played some virtual reality games that look fun. You know, they're kind of neat, but I think we're far from anything that really feels virtual. You know, like everything I felt, I've played, and you know, I haven't used that much virtual reality, but anything that I have done, it's like you just know that it's fake. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not even tricking you a little bit. Uh,
Like, what's the ultimate like virtual gaming experience you've had? Like, I think the only virtual I ever did was like the Samsung ones back a couple, and those were
no,
straight up trash.
I've done some. Didn't you go with me to? Didn't we do Best Buy once? Check out the Oculus Rift.
Like a long time ago with the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Is that the one you're talking about?
no, it wasn't Dine. No, not that one. Maybe that was with Elijah, but um, they had them at Best Buy, and you know, I had a decent game. It was kind of fun, but I wouldn't say it was. I wouldn't say it was great. There is a Sony PlayStation VR game, one of those Astrobot games that supposedly is very good. Um, but I was not gonna buy a PlayStation VR for that. Like everything else that I tried on the PlayStation VR was not very exciting.
What
So
did you
so
try?
on
Huh?
what the
Which games
Oculus?
did you try in the PlayStation VR?
No, on the PlayStation VR. Like PlayStation has a VR headset that you can buy for the PlayStation 4.
And it works for the 5 or no?
I would imagine that it works, but I'm not really sure. I actually don't know. I never got a PlayStation VR. Like my friend had one, and you know, I tried it a couple of times, and VR always ends up just being for porn. There's,
Yeah,
and even that's not that great.
like more for like passive viewing where you can just like I always wanted a VR so you can like lay in your
No,
bed and watch a movie or something like that.
that's the thing. I've never even been able to do that. Like I don't know if it's because of the resolution on the screens, but every movie that I've ever tried watching on any VR headset has looked like crap. Now,
I agree.
that last time I even tried was a few years ago. Maybe things have gotten better, but yeah, it was never that great. And your idea of laying down on the bed like that's what I always wanted, but then they always would make it where it was like being at a movie theater, and then you had to sit down, and if you lay down you would just be looking at the ceiling, and then you're supposed to kind of realign it, but every little movement that you do, the whole thing gets realigned, and it
Yeah, you
it, it
can't lock it.
just yeah, it just ends up being a pain. It really is not that fun.
Yeah, Preem, have you ever done VR?
Yeah, I've used the Samsung one that you were talking about and the Google Google's version of that Samsung one, and they were
The
both
Oh yeah.
relatively impressive. And you're absolutely right about the viewing movies and everything. That's what I was looking forward to the most, and it was very uncomfortable first of all, and it was also very blurry, at
Hmm.
least in my
Yep.
experience. Watching the movies themselves, it was terrible. Some of the things that it came with, like the videos, were not bad. It's easily the best VR stuff I've ever tried. Like looking around, it felt like I was inside a virtual place. But I think the most impressive thing that I've tried was the Google Maps in the virtual
Oh.
headset. That was pretty fun.
where you
But
can
other
like
than that,
walk.
yeah, yeah. I don't remember being able to walk, but you could just look around and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I could see that being kind of fun. Uh, but yeah, for me, indeed, like watching movies, it's what I mostly wanted. But then they go too far. They try to make it like it's a movie theater. Like I don't want that. I just want the screens to show a very nice image, so that it feels like I have this huge white wall in front of me with a big display, and then don't move. Like I don't need it to move. Like if I look this way or I look that way, I don't need it to change. I just want to see the screen in front of me.
Yeah,
uh like quit getting so fancy with it.
yeah. Like I remember on what was that place, the Discovery World, in down by the lake. We're getting exposed where we live, no matter.
Doc,
Yeah, by the docks. They have a room where it's like a big like cube room, and there's like an actual like headset that they have that's hanging from a crane, or not like a little, what would you call it? It's not a crane. What would you call it? Like
Yeah, like a
a
little holster.
gimbal. Yeah, like a little
Yeah.
holster, and then you can kind of put it on, and the whole room, like you like the room, like the walls show what the person is seeing in the thing. So
Correct.
it's pretty cool. Like if you have an actual room like that or something like that, that would be
Correct. Like
cool.
I've seen a few videos on stuff like that. Like I've never gone to one, but experiences where you actually move, and it kind of feels like with the movement and the things that they put place around, it kind of feels like you're there. I can see that being fun. So I could totally see it like for a business. I could totally see it being exciting if you can go ahead and build something like that, where you actually have to move around. Like this one that I recall watching a video, they had like a little board between like two blocks, and you're like inches away from the floor, but then what you're seeing is you're going through a building, through two buildings. So from your perspective, you're really far away from the floor.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool, the fact that you're trying to really keep your balance on that board. But yeah, for gaming at home, I don't think we're anywhere close to where we need to be for Nintendo to bring
It's
another
also
virtual.
very, very expensive for the common
Yeah.
video game player.
Yeah, would it be like? Would you compare it to like arcades back in the day when you would go to an arcade? You would have like these nice graphics,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then but like you play the console version and it's trash compared to the arcade. You're like, why can't I have that version in my house?
Yeah. Um, I could totally see like an arcade, and I don't know if they have these already, but a completely VR kind of experience where you go through different mazes, I guess. And
Yeah, I don't know. Has
That's
anybody
actually
been to a Chuck E. Cheese?
not in years, but that's actually a great comparison though with the arcades back in the day, because
yeah,
you technically could have the arcade experience back then, but like the Neo Geo cost like a grand, and what else was arcade perfect? Everything that was arcade perfect was ridiculously expensive, and so is VR nowadays.
Yeah.
yeah,
So so now, well, I gotta put my phone away. So yeah, like talking about VR and yeah, we got to work on our segues with the new technology. Does anybody here have any of the new consoles that are out? They were released. What? When were they released? Like November,
November.
and
Yep.
then we're almost at March. Does anybody here have them or care about getting them?
Well, I'm part of the PC master race.
He converted. He don't care about
But you
PlayStation.
don't have the new 3060 or
Oh yeah,
70 or
the GPUs.
GP.
He's
Yeah,
still
uh,
you're still running a 970.
Hey, it's hard to get a graphic card.
Yeah, just like it's hard to
I
get PS5s.
I have a PS5, and I had an Xbox Series S, but I sold it.
really?
The the white one, right? Yeah, the lower, the
S,
budget version.
yeah, the budget version,
Oh, the
which
discless version.
Yeah.
the discless, yes. I thought you said useless, which depends who you ask. Um, but no, like originally, I got the Series S because I had uh Xbox game. No, is it Game Pass? Not Game Pass.
Yeah,
Ultimate
Game Pass Ultimate. Yeah.
Game Pass Ultimate. Yeah, and I thought, may as well get it and play those games there. But then none of the games really attracted me. Like none of the games there really attracted me. There were a couple of games that I was like, oh, that's a good game, but there were games that I have already played on the PC or that I can play on my PC, and I prefer to play on my PC whenever possible. So I was like, okay, really, this Xbox is kind of useless to me because I have a PC. Um,
Well, Microsoft is banking on they believe that PC players are not their audience. So they want people who want the Xbox experience on their couches.
Or
Although
like
I,
the
I
P-
I,
don't I don't necessarily agree with that, because I mean I play PC both on my couch and on a desk.
I
like
actually prefer to play games on the desk than on the couch, but that's me. Like,
what if you can like if there was like some sort of mechanism that allowed you to, or software to allow you to play your Steam games on an Xbone. Oh, that's the old one, the Xbox Series X. Man, the name is garbage though.
you
Xbox Series X.
What do
What
you
do they
mean, like
call it?
like the like that
you
Steam,
mean
that little Steam thing?
something like this? Like or I can just hook it up to the TV and
Yeah, well, make it the Xbox so you can play both Xbox games and your Steam games, your PC games. I don't know. Just
yeah.
make it like your Microsoft. Why can't I do Microsoft Word on an Xbox? That way I can have all in one, like for somebody,
No, yeah, I could. Microsoft goes like through a lot of work to make it so that you can't do anything PC on their consoles, and I just don't know why. Like, I feel like they could. I feel like if they really wanted to, they could easily make it so that the Xbox Series X, at least, I don't know about the S, but the X would be able to do like dual boot, so that you could make it be a PC or you could make it be a an Xbox.
Yeah.
I feel like if they really wanted to, they could have done that, but for whatever reason, they really don't want to. But then at the same time, they keep releasing their games on the PC, so it makes it useless. Like, it makes it not necessary to get an Xbox. So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Like I was going to say, like the Xbox, you have to get a specific type of SSD if you want to expand it.
Yeah,
Like
it
it's
has.
a proprietary.
Yeah, it's a proprietary little cartridge, basically.
See, like to me, that's a, in my opinion, to me as a consumer, that's a bad move. I don't know for them, it's they'll probably make more money that way, but to me, the because Sony, you can put any SSD.
Well, even with Sony, you need a specific type of M.2, like
Okay,
NVMe. But at least it's a type of NVMe that you'll be able to buy from multiple sources. Like there is not one person, there's not one company making the NVMe that you need for that. So
How much have you been playing your PS5?
I was playing it a lot before I went on vacation to Puerto Rico. However, I was playing it because I was playing Persona 5,
Oh,
which is
okay.
a PS4 game.
Yeah.
So I have not played any PS5 games on it. Uh,
Just for the record, if I had a PS5, I right now I'd only be playing PS4 games on it.
yeah, there's nothing else.
yeah, yeah. Like
I,
what is there?
I guess if you're into the whole Call of Duty thing, you can play that.
There's a
Uh,
Spider-Man game.
I
There's
have the Spider-Man game, but that game, that type of game for me personally, they're only fun for a little bit. Like, I get
yeah,
bored of
same
them
here.
quickly. Um, and I'm sure there's a few other games, but
I think Demon Souls is probably their most impressive game right now.
yeah, but those are not games that I ever really care about. So
Like to
It's
me,
more
it's
like a
funny that a lot of people bought the PS5 just for like 2K.
yeah,
Like I don't get it. And like why would you go and spend like $1,000 to get a PS5 that you can't even play any you know next gen games?
especially now that we've
honestly,
heard about the controller problems with the stick drift.
drifting, yeah.
Especially with that.
Um, so honestly, like, I got my PS5 in December, was it? Or no, it was January. It was January something. But I would have sworn that by now that had to be available everywhere, and I'm shocked that it is not.
All right, so I have the DualSense controller here. Well, this is from the official website. So like, yeah, you're talking about the drift. Is it on both joysticks or just on one mostly? I would think it'll probably be this one more, right?
I would assume that it's on
Uh,
both.
I'm not really sure about that.
Like, what would you rate since you're the only one here who has it? Well, I have experienced some of the PS5, but like you probably played it more than me. How would you rate the controller for the PS5?
I mean, I think the controller is kind of cool. It like the thing with the triggers. I think it's neat. I would like to see it in more games. Um,
Can you
the
explain the
the
haptic triggers? Like
so
what
the
is it
haptic
about the game?
triggers they just become harder to press. Um, you know, there's a little motor or something in it that is making it harder to press. So for certain games like let's say you're playing GTA 6 if that ever comes out. uh, and for different guns you would have different resistance on the trigger. that
That's pretty
that's
cool.
kind of cool. um, I thought that for some reason I really thought that you were going to have the same thing with the joysticks, but no, you don't. It does have very good vibrations, like yeah, but I don't know. Personally, I played it with that Astros whatever game that
The
comes
play
with it.
world, yeah.
Yeah, which is supposed to be just kind of demoing the thing. And I thought that what a lot of reviewers were saying online was a little bit exaggerated. I'm like, okay, because they were all like, "Oh, you can totally feel like you're walking on glass or on grass or whatever." I'm like,
The
no, you
shills.
can't. Like, the little noises that come out of the controller are different, yeah, but the actual thing to me felt the same. Um, but it's still a little bit more immersive, and I'm all down for that.
How was the D-pad? What would you rate the D-pad?
I wouldn't say I've had any issues with the D-pad myself, um,
Like, what is it
but
mostly
but
used
I
for?
haven't
Like the D-pad.
menus. Like maybe
Yeah,
like I can't say that I've used it a whole lot, but yeah,
yeah,
no,
menus.
nothing,
Hmm.
nothing bad. The one thing that I kind of do hate is the fact that the PlayStation button doesn't have a light. So I don't know. Like on the PS4, I was so used to, because on the PS4 controller it's like a little circle and it
Okay.
has like a little light, I believe. So here it feels like it's missing that. And also, you know how on games they tend to show you the button that you're supposed to press, and it's like uh, the square is like green or some other colors. Uh, and I kind of hate that the controller doesn't have actual colors. Like I like how it looks, but it doesn't actually have the colors, so you actually have to look for the shape. Um,
Yeah, I'm just pulling this up because we're talking about the drift, and it's like, would you expect that to happen to a controller that costs like $69?
I mean,
And look at these
the
shills already. 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars.
Well, yeah, 4.9 rating.
Just wait
This,
until it plays for 400 hours and then it breaks.
I don't know what percentage of them are breaking, but personally, I haven't had any issues. But I don't play any games that really require that lot of precision. Um,
I know
but
my Switch didn't take long at all for it to start showing the drift.
which one?
The Switch,
Correct. I was gonna mention the Switch, the Joycons. Those are also what 70, $80,
yeah,
and they
of
have
course, Nintendo.
they had the same issue. So
yeah, but then they did like the re-release of it. They corrected that flaw, right? I kind of didn't they have like a redesign or something like that, like a re-release.
I don't know.
But like,
Isn't
how
that
about
one where
But for sure, my Switch Joy Cons, I've never had that issue either, or I have it and I don't notice. I don't know. Like, but to be fair, I barely ever use my Switch as a handheld. Like I mostly play connected to a TV with the Pro controller. So
yeah?
Oh well, that's the thing.
Yeah, like my nephew, like he uses the Joycons. So his first pair of Joycons did get the drift, and we just never got around to sending them in.
Yeah, I
I
think
tried I tried to send them in once, but like they accepted it, but then they sent me an email saying that they couldn't verify something. So I was like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna struggle anymore. I'm just gonna buy some cheap Amazon ones.
that's exactly why they do it like that. So you'll get discouraged.
Yeah, they got me.
They're like,
Nintendo
well,
got me. Well played, Nintendo. Well played. And I'm using their hat.
What a
Yeah.
shill.
What a
Ni-
shill. Nintendo's the
I
best.
will I will tell you, man. Like I've always been a huge Nintendo fan, but they piss the crap out of me. As an adult, they really do kind of piss the crap out of me with a lot of their ideas. Like
How?
I've always been a huge Nintendo fanboy. I'll admit it. But lately, I'm just like, you know what? Maybe Nintendo should stop making consoles and just make their games for the PS5 because if you remember, we were playing Astrobot on the PS5, and I'm like, man, like it would be like, why can't Nintendo make like Nintendo keeps insisting that graphics don't matter, but freaking Super Mario 3D World or whatever with this graphics would be so amazing.
Yeah. It's like they what's the word? Like they have the ability to do things better, but they're just what's the word? Where you just kind of like,
Complacent.
yeah, there we go,
Yeah,
complacent. Like yeah, exactly.
like
There's like, why should we try more if we're still gonna sell?
what one of
Exactly.
my favorite uh Nintendo systems has been the Wii U, and it's because that system did so bad that Nintendo actually had to try, and they actually made a whole bunch of really good games for it. And I really enjoyed those games. And now I have to freaking enjoy those games all over again if I want to enjoy my Switch because all they do is keep porting games over to the Switch.
Full
At 60
price.
going to yeah,
And
exactly.
then they want $60 for them. I'm like, what the hell? Right now, they are releasing Super Mario 3D World. I'm like, I played that game back in 2016 or whenever the hell it is that it came
Yeah.
out. Like,
Yeah, but you got the beta version,
apparently, although I paid full price for it.
and then they're releasing Skyward Sword.
Yeah, that's
That's an
ridiculous.
even older game, and I'm okay with that one because it is older. I never actually played that game on the Wii, um, because I really hated the fact that they were forcing motion controls
Yeah,
because they did that for so long. So on the Wii, I mean on the Switch version, I heard that you'll be able to play without having to do motion. Hopefully that's true because it would be good to play that game. I would like to play that game, but damn it, Nintendo, when are you gonna make a new game? I bought that Switch and I've barely used it because there's nothing like. First, there was Breath of the Wild, and I was like, okay, this is cool. I like this. Then the next year came out Super Mario Odyssey. I was like, all right, it took a year, but I'll take it. And then after that, I haven't, for me personally anyway, I haven't seen Jack. Uh, there have been people absolutely love it, uh, but for me, it's like okay, you keep releasing games that I already played, and and you're not making anything new. Like they've been promising Metroid 4 forever. They've been promising Bayonetta 3 forever. Uh, a new uh, a new Breath of the Wild 2 forever, but I haven't seen any of that.
yeah. So did any of you actually see the Nintendo Direct?
I did not know.
Nope.
Yeah, I saw it because I was like, I can watch it while I'm eating a burger or whatever. So they have like
Very specific.
we were eating a burger. Um, and so like you got games like they all the announcers like Splatoon 3. Like I guess that's like a
Yeah,
popular game.
yeah, and I'll admit there are popular games that I'm just not into. They're not my generation. Splatoon 3 would definitely go on that.
So they have new characters for like Super Smash Brothers, and it's like characters I don't even know about.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't want to play
Brand new
copyright.
coat of paint.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got
Uh,
new characters, and then like for example,
Smash Brothers again, Wii U title basically, and that's what they keep doing, releasing new characters. Same damn game, just new characters.
although this Mario Golf looks interesting, and it looks fun.
Yeah, but that's
This,
not a real game.
no, that's like a party game, like.
Yeah,
But then you get like Fall Guys. That's a fun game, but like you can get that on PC, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Most of
you
these
have a
games will
bunch
be
of
on
other
PC.
games. Like there
Outer
was
Wilds.
like they were talking about this, like it's like some murder mystery, like anime murder mystery games. And the animation look cool, but
These
that's not
are
my
like
type of. The Legend of Mana remaster. Did any of you play the original?
I never did actually, but I'm not gonna play. Like I can't play those games. I can't take them seriously anymore. Like
Animal Crossing. Does any of you play Animal Crossing? That's a big game.
it
I
is a
got
My
big
wife
game.
does.
Not for me. To me, Animal Crossing just seems like
like a Sims.
it just seems like chores. Like I need things to do during the day. So like no, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah,
Like
see, I also got the Nintendo Switch just because of Zelda and because of the potential. I mean, like you said, Nintendo has a ton of great IPs and a
Yeah,
lot of potential. They just haven't been making any.
yeah,
And a lot of these other games you can play much better, superior versions on PC, like Witcher 3
correct.
uh, with Ninja Gaiden. Is that on it?
Educated.
3 legendary action games, 1 master. So there's like a master collection.
Okay,
No,
maybe you finally have a game to play in the Switch again.
Yeah,
yeah, like what version is this? I don't want to actually play the video, but you
Yeah,
can't.
down here.
Let me lower the thing. So I just want to see like some footage. Okay, that's some beautiful footage right there.
yeah.
So this is, so
It
this
looks
is
great. That's kind of how they look on the Switch.
man. Look at those graphics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the frame rate is
So
about right.
wow, are they still using Flash? Is it
Probably.
is it Flash dead? What's going on here? So I'm guessing this is the. There we go. Kind of. So this is like the one from the original Xbox.
Yeah,
I hope they fix the camera because the camera was. I hated the camera. I kept getting clapped in that game. I couldn't even beat that boss in the blimp, and that was like the first boss I think,
Oh
or the second boss.
no, it
now,
was the
now,
second.
now that you mentioned camera, that reminds me of the biggest proof that Nintendo doesn't care, and that has to be the Super Mario. Uh, what is it? All Stars, 3D All Stars. Like they just released the games, did absolutely nothing to them. Uh, they look the same, and then on Super Mario World, Super Mario 3D. What the heck is it called?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I know they mentioned it on. I don't know.
No, but the one that Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Sunshine, and
Oh,
Mar- Mario 64. Uh, they completely messed up the camera. Uh, but yeah, like I expected HD versions of that game, of those games, like with much better graphics, kind of how they did with the original Super Mario All Stars. Because if you look at Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3 on 3D All Star, on All Stars on the SNES, they look way better than they did on the NES. So I kind of hoped to get way better graphics for Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, and Mario Sunshine. But no, they kind of left everything the same. They made them look a little bit better, just for HD reasons. But other than that, exact same graphics.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I see footage on YouTube where they're using like emulators, and I'm like, why can't Nintendo make it look like this?
Yeah,
Like for real, like it looks so like clean and sharp and everything, and Nintendo just goes like, nah.
like I was playing that Zelda, the one that's coming out, Zelda Skyward Sword,
Hmm.
on the Dreamcast, not the Dreamcast, the Dolphin emulator in HD on my PC. But even there, I was getting annoyed with all the movement stuff, so that's why I quit playing. Um, but I can tell you that on my PC, it looked even better than what that looks like.
Wow, I don't know what's going on with their. I wonder if it's their website.
No, I think
And
it's just. Well, I don't know. It looks like this to you on your computer.
yeah, it looks the
Yeah.
same. Yeah, it kind of wants to work.
Yeah. So that
Anyways,
that does look better than the Wii version,
yeah,
but but it doesn't look better than what I got it looking on my PC with Dolphin.
yeah. So So do you think that? Well, see, it's like it's hard with Nintendo because, like you said, like they're always saying like, oh, graphics don't matter. So, like, if they make like a Switch Pro or something like that, and then they have like 4K games, do you think they're gonna make it look that much better?
See,
Like, do you
I
even think
don't
they would go the 4K route, or do you think that Nintendo will probably be like, nah, that's too much for us?
I don't think Nintendo needs the 4K right now, but I do think that they need more power because if you try playing, what was that Zelda game that I was trying to play? Link to the Past, I think.
Yeah,
The remake one, the one they remade.
Link to the Past. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
So
frame rate was slow on that.
frame rate was horrible. And I'm like, okay, so Nintendo, you're telling me that you don't need all this power, but then your own games can't even run properly on the Switch. So, like, come on, you obviously need more power. Maybe not for graphics, but damn, like even with Breath of the Wild, you would go into certain places and it would you could see the frame rates dropping. So don't tell me that you don't need more power.
Right. Like, do you think that? Well, like I know you had mentioned if Nintendo should stop making hardware and just do like games and stuff like that, or do you think Nintendo should go the like Stadia route or the Amazon
No,
Luna route?
no, because those all suck. Uh,
All right, so you've actually used both of these, right? Like what in your opinion, like what is the difference in the similarities, or which one do you think is better between Stadia and Amazon?
you're forgetting one, by the way. GeForce,
Oh yeah.
GeForce Now. So here's the difference. Stadia, Stadia, you have to see it as a completely separate console. Like what you're playing is not what you're playing is not a PC version of the game. It's not a console version of the game. It is a Stadia version of the game.
Huh.
Um, and I say that you should see it as its own console because I know that a lot of the complaints that people have about Stadia is the fact that um, I gotta pay for the games that I already have. Well, yeah, that happens when you buy a PS5 too, and you want to play games that you have on your PC. if you want to play your PC game on the PS5, well, you're gonna have to buy the PS5 version of the game.
Yeah.
The only difference is that here you're playing on the Stadia, probably on your PC. So, you know, so that Stadia with Amazon Luna, however, it's they work very very much the same, except that Amazon Luna, I'm not sure if those games are specifically made for Amazon Luna. I'm going to guess that they probably are, but Amazon Luna has more of a subscription
Yeah.
where you can actually play a whole bunch of boring games. Uh, like they have maybe 2 or 3 good games, and then everything else is crap. Uh, but then they can say like, oh, we have all these games. Right now, they also work with the Ubisoft Plus. So if you have Ubisoft Plus, you can go ahead and play those games on your Luna account. Um, the thing I'm not totally sure is if that is $14.99 extra a month for Amazon, or if it's just the basic $14.99 for Ubisoft Plus. Um, but that's kind of how Luna works. Now both Stadia and Luna, they do give you the ability to buy titles, and they both. Well, I know Stadia promises that even if they have to take down the game, if you paid for it, it will stay in your inventory. Like you'll always be able to download it again. I mean, not download it, but play it. Um, they are both nice. I personally prefer Stadia over Luna. Um, just had a better experience with Stadia, I guess. Um,
But you have to
never,
have like some good connection. Can you connect direct? No, can you connect directly to like Ethernet, or it has to be all Wi-Fi?
no, it's much better if you connect through Ethernet.
Okay.
Uh,
How's it
Wi-Fi
on Wi-Fi?
on Wi-Fi, my Wi-Fi here sucks. So I was having a lot of issues. Most people don't have that many issues. Like I really do have some Wi-Fi issues going on here. But when it worked fine, it worked fine. Like I could play the games, and there was barely any lag. I'm sure if you're a professional, you'll be able to experience the lag. But for me, like couple milliseconds. So I'm slow enough that I don't notice that. um, but that's Stadia and Luna, and like I said, there is GeForce Now, which, in my opinion, is kind of the better idea. So GeForce Now, what it does, it basically plays it. So basically, when you use GeForce Now, you're basically renting a computer, and you log into your Stadia account, not Stadia. You log into your Steam account, or you log into your GOG account, and then you play the games that you already have. So for GeForce Now, there is a paid version, which is only like $6 a month, or there's the free version. The free version keeps you at 1080p, and if there could be a queue before you're able to play, but other than that, you can play your games for free. Um, and again, these are the games that you already own. The problem with GeForce Now is that a lot of companies don't want them doing that, so
Yeah.
they don't allow them to let you play your games, which is bull. It's bull because it's possible, because there were a lot of games that I was able to play at the beginning when this was new. When GeForce Now was new, like I was able to play World of Warcraft, which for me was great because I'm like, okay, I hate the fact that World of Warcraft takes so much space on my computer, I'm able to play it using this service. It doesn't take up any room on my computer, and I can play it anytime on any laptop. It's great. But then Blizzard decided, oh, we don't want you uh, letting people play our game, and it was working fine. Like it's not something about the system not being able to do it. It's simply the developers don't want them doing it. So
Yeah, they gotta ruin the fun, man. Because they want a piece of the pie, so it's like, no,
they
you guys are doing
correct,
it. No, we want to do our own service, and that's what's
correct.
happening with like the movie streaming service, like with Disney Plus, Peacock, and all those things. Like
Yeah,
at least with well, I'm not gonna say at least because I don't condone this, but with movies, people will pirate. It's easier to pirate like shows and stuff like that than video games, in my opinion. So like when those streaming services do that, that people are just gonna be like, you know what, you're making it too difficult. I'm just not gonna you know
yeah.
subscribe to anything, and I'm just gonna bootleg stuff.
Or they're finally gonna make people buy cable again.
Like
We're gonna go
honestly,
back.
like I mean, people used to cut the cord so that they could save money, but now with services like
Yeah,
YouTube
now it's worse.
TV, it costs more than cable. So it's like, what the hell? Plus, then cable companies just started charging more for cable internet anyway. So
At least we'll have those sweet couple of years where we were able to watch everything, pretty much everything
so
on Netflix back then.
yeah, and
So,
Hulu used to have everything I wanted.
yeah,
Like
who used to be the thing back then?
then little by little they kept taking shows out. Now there's nothing on Hulu that I care about. There's nothing on Amazon Prime that I care about, and there's barely ever anything on Netflix that I care about.
And
Uh, but yeah, so GeForce Now, in my opinion, is the very best idea. But freaking developers are, because they want you to have to buy their game again. So they like Stadia, they like Amazon Luna, because it forces you to buy the game again. This whole idea of people playing anywhere using their low power computer or using their tablet, and that is one of the things that they would complain about. They were like, oh well, if people can play their PC games on their iPad, why would they buy iPad games?
Yeah,
I don't.
GeForce Now is way too pro-consumer, and of course, corporations don't like that.
so so I do feel bad for them because I'm like it is a good system. I have a friend who just finished playing Cyberpunk 2077, and he played it 100% on, like he doesn't have a good gaming computer, and he has a PS4, but we know how how Cyberpunk on the PS4 is.
Yep.
So for Christmas, I gifted him Cyberpunk
On
on
GeForce
the
Now.
I gave it to him on GOG games. Uh, the
Good old games, yeah.
good old
good old
games.
games, yeah, good old games Galaxy. So then he was able to play it on GeForce Now, and he did it using the free version. So sometimes he would have to wait on a queue in order to play, but he was able to play like over 80 hours of the game just using that and his crappy laptop. Uh, and I'm like, that's cool, the fact that that's an option to people. And if he ever upgrades to a good gaming computer, he can go ahead and install that game on his computer because it's on his GOG account anyway.
Yeah, I
Yes.
agree that in theory, GeForce Now is the superior option.
Yeah, and GeForce Now even has ray tracing, which
Wow.
last I checked, Stadia and Luna do not.
Yeah, but what good is that if you can't get a graphics card? So don't feel too bad for Nvidia because they've been
Oh
like
no, they're definitely not good guys.
like for example, last I heard, I read an article that they were supposed to be making dedicated GPUs just for cryptocurrencies. So it's kind of like they're purposely using resources to create GPUs that are only for mining Bitcoin and stuff. But then once the Bitcoin thing crashes, or if it does, I don't know none of that. I'm not Elon Musk, but like once it's over, those resources are useless because you can't even game with those cards because they're just dedicated for crypto.
Correct, but I mean, right now, crypto is buying the cards, so
I know,
it's like
but I need those resources for me. I've been wanting to get at least a 3060, a Ti.
The
I'll
crypto
take
miners,
anything.
they're gonna take
uh,
whatever is on the market, whether it's a dedicated mining card or a gaming card, they're gonna get it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna
and
matter.
I don't think crypto is gonna go anywhere anytime
No.
soon. Just saying, uh,
It
in a
did dip a
way,
little bit, which is how I was able to get my current graphics card. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna dip anytime soon, unfortunately.
so just start mining Bitcoin,
Like
Ethereum.
Yeah, let's just get rich.
like I don't
Let's just get rich instead. Yeah.
like I was looking at my stock things, and I've gained $20. And then
Nice.
It's a start.
well, yeah, like I started with 80 and now I have 98.
You're doing better than I am.
GameStop went up by 100% today, so I should have
Really?
bought GameStop.
I'm
Didn't
surprised it's going up
Hold the
at all.
line. Hold the line.
No, man. I'm I'm a noob to the stock market, so I'm not gonna push my luck. I
Smart.
always buy low and expect it to
Smart.
go up. And
Yeah, the stock market, you just have to buy and forget about it. Unless you have a ton of money, then you can do microtransactions and just buy in the morning and sell
but
at night.
but Game Pass is something totally different than any of those other
Oh,
ones, right?
Game Pass,
Yeah, like I have this on the docket.
Game Pass allows you to Xbox Game Pass. I should mention.
Yeah,
All Game Pass. I hate that they call it Game Pass because it's part of it's part of the Game Pass, but it's only part of the Game Pass Ultimate. Uh, they should call it something else. But basically, it allows you to also um, do cloud gaming with the Xbox games, and I think it uses the Xbox console games. I'm not totally sure. Um, but basically, that one sucks because for me it sucked because the only way to play is on an Android phone, which I have. But I was like, really, like I want to play this on my
yeah.
PC. I want to play this on other things. Now I read somewhere that they were gonna come out with apps for like Macs and PC, but I I don't believe those are out yet. I believe that you can still only play on Android phones. Yeah, it says right there, Android mobile devices.
Yeah, it says this one Game Pass Ultimate. Are you reading the Game Pass Ultimate? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
PC. Yeah, it says quality games for console, PC, and Android mobile devices.
correct.
Yeah,
They used to call it Xbox Cloud. I'm not sure why they don't make it clear. Um, but yeah, but again, as far as the actual gaming, it was playing okay. But again, I was playing on my Wi-Fi, which I'll admit at the time I was having a lot. Well, I'm still having a lot of issues with my Wi-Fi. Um, and I was only able to play on my phone, which I can't hook up an Ethernet cable to unless I really tried. I think. Uh, um, and I'm not very good. Like I have never really enjoyed playing on a small screen. So
It's funny because I had good old games on the docket for some reason. We were supposed to talk about it somehow. Oh, I think we were just gonna say that that's a good place to get games, right, for PC.
It is a good place just because they don't really believe in digital rights management. So when you buy a game from them, you are, I want to say usually, but I think always able to download the files so that you actually have the files and they
Yeah,
are
own
not
it.
protected. So you own the game. And personally, like, you know, you are able to take the files and install them on anybody's computer if you want to. So people will be like, well, how do you deal with piracy? And their response has always been like, if people want to pirate the game, they're gonna pirate the game. Like,
Right.
uh,
Exactly.
so DRM, which is digital rights management, it's anti-consumer. Like, it doesn't help the consumer. It makes things more difficult for the consumer. So that has always been their stance, and I appreciate that. And that's why when I say that I bought my friend Cyberpunk for Christmas, I actually paid for another one, even though I could have just sent him the files. Uh, because I appreciate the fact that they are doing that. However, then I play Cyberpunk and I started hating them.
But oh man, Cyberpunk is a whole. It's been talked to death. But like, have you logged in recently, or have you just stopped playing it because you finished it already?
I finished it and I just I beat the story. I beat all the main stories. Um, and then I there was nothing left for me really. Like, there were a whole bunch of little missions, but those are kind of doing the same thing all over. So I didn't feel like continuing that. But
Cool.
overall, I will say the game is my favorite game that I absolutely hate.
Is it because they had so much potential, but they just didn't
Correct,
live to it?
correct. Like, there was a ton of potential, a ton of stuff that they could have done, a ton of stuff that I strongly believe that they planned on doing, but then a ton of stuff that they just didn't do. So the game just leaves you thinking like, why? Like, what the heck?
Have you played Cyberpunk Cream?
Yeah, I also beat it, and there is stuff is right. There is no next game plus, at least for now. So it's pretty pointless to continue playing it,
Yeah.
unless you just want to keep do the other what do you call those roles that they give you. But it doesn't really matter in the story that all that much anyway. But
There's a lot that doesn't really matter. And that's what I mean. Like, there's so many things that you do in the story that in the end they absolutely have no real impact. So, like,
well,
Yeah.
I honestly I enjoyed it a lot. My biggest problem was that it was way too short, especially
it's truly, it
compared
was
with
like 25 hours of the main story.
yeah, especially when you compare it to their prior game, The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 to me, I played that game for months, like on and off, and
I
it seemed like
know.
it was never gonna end. And I didn't really mind because I loved it. But this one, I mean, like I think like within the first week, I feel like, oh no, this is about to end, isn't it? and it
Like,
and it did pretty much.
when I got to the final mission, I got that screen that says, "Hey, from now on, you won't be able to save. You
Yeah,
might want to save now."
yeah,
I had to look it up because I was like, "This cannot be the end," because it's way too soon.
yeah.
And then I looked it up, and indeed, that is the final mission. I was like, "What the hell?" So I went back. I refrained from doing that mission until I did all the other main missions, and then I went back and I did that mission. I will say one thing, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but there's a very half-assed concept of romance in the game. So I did end up romancing a specific character, and then in the end, that specific character ended up being completely useless. Like there was nothing, absolutely nothing about that specific character. I, like the character showed up at one point, and then the character was gone. So I'm like, why would you even try to do the whole romance thing when it doesn't matter? Like there's a part at the beginning of the romance where you get keys to the house so that you're able to visit whenever, but then you can't even sleep in the bed. You can't do anything in the house. And then later I find out that everybody that I met basically gave me keys to their house because I was able to easily go to all of their houses. So I'm like, okay, so what was the point? I don't know. That is definitely one aspect of the game that I think was extremely uh, rushed. I do believe that there were originally supposed to be many different endings, and there are a few different endings, but they are kind of the same. Um, and yeah, overall, extremely disappointed with all the flaws. And I'm not talking about frame rate because I played it on my computer. On my computer, it ran fine. There were definitely bugs, parts where somebody would be playing the guitar and singing, but I didn't hear anything, or parts where I killed everybody in the area, but they were still talking. Uh, little things like that. But other than that, I didn't really have any big issues like the console people did. Um, but there were so many parts of the game that I felt like it was supposed to be more. Like originally, it was supposed to be more, and it just wasn't.
Yeah, those are all very valid points because it does feel very rushed. And I mean, I think it was clearly rushed. You can actually like there's lots of doors everywhere that you can interact with, but it just says locked. Most of them
Yeah,
say locked.
yeah,
And I'm pretty sure that there was probably a time when they were thinking like, well, you can enter any building, any door you
correct,
see here, break into them because you're a hacker, and
correct.
and it definitely feels unfinished. And especially with the story, as we said, like it doesn't even feel like it's halfway, but when it's over,
Yeah,
that's I had that same problem with Mafia 2. When it was over, I feel like we're barely like halfway. This can't be it. And Cyberpunk is even worse in that respect. Uh, and I know that in the consoles it was absolutely awful for many people, especially on the base PS4.
or
Uh,
the Xbox.
yeah.
That
Oh,
was
I
even
can
worse.
I can only imagine on the Xbone.
Yep, the original Xbox.
Yeah, they actually just CD Project Red just announced today that they've delayed the latest patch, which is patch 1. Oh, I forgot where I wrote it in my notes, but they delayed it because of the hackers that, ironically enough, they hacked their game code, and I guess they were too busy dealing with that than to release the patch.
The
But
thing
they
is
have
that
been. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say like we agree that it feels like such a rushed game, but then they took 8 years to make it. So I'm like, what the hell were they doing?
Yeah, I think
Like,
the actual development time was much shorter than that. It was like 4 years because they were still working on Witcher 3 for quite a while, and then their Gwent game. And so after the Gwent game is when they wrapped
the
up Witchers, and
Gwent
they
game
were
they
like,
could have just not done.
yeah, I
Uh,
agree. They should have had some form of Gwent in Cyberpunk. Like some, they needed like a poker or more mini games, like being able to go into the arcades and actually play them. That was one of the most disappointing things to me. Go into the arcades. There's arcades there with titles and everything, but you can't play
yeah.
them.
Um, yeah, overall, I was extremely disappointed. Like I thought, based on the promises and everything, that this game was going to be amazing, especially when it came to the world, to the people. Anybody that I talked to in the game that I tried talking to, they either didn't respond at all or they had like two phrases. Uh, and
Yeah,
sometimes those two phrases didn't match at all. Like,
you can
I,
walk up to any NPC in the game and you can interact with them. There's a button that pops up, but yeah, like you said, they only say one or two things, and that's it.
yeah. So the interaction was extremely blah. Um,
Yeah.
there are cops, but you can easily get away from them. You can steal a car, but yeah, it's like not even sure why because it's not like I didn't do personally. I didn't do a whole lot of driving because there are fast travel points all over the place. Um, I don't know, just
Well,
it was nothing special in my opinion. GTA 5 from many years ago was more uh
Lively,
word
like more,
yeah
more like
was
developed.
more interactive than
Yeah, there we go.
yeah
The
than this one.
world, yeah.
well, I will say that with all that said, I didn't hate the game, not even close. And I actually drove around a lot because I know there's fast travel points everywhere, which is appreciated. But
Correct.
this is the first game that I really wanted to actually drive because the graphics just blew me away. I don't think
The
there's
graphics are amazing.
yeah
No doubt about that. But then even the driving sucks. It's a little bit easier with a motorcycle, but which is the only time that I can actually see my character. Like, what's the whole point of making it so that I can customize so much about my character when I can't ever really see her?
Yeah,
yeah
like
that was a I remember when I first heard that it was going to be third person. I was very upset because like you said, like in their old game, The Witcher, you can see there's tons of gear that you can get and you can always see it,
Yeah.
you know. So you're always looking for what looks good, what doesn't. And
Yep.
in Cyberpunk, there's all kinds of clothing shops everywhere. They all have different stuff, but yeah, there's not really a point to it when you can barely see the guy unless you're on a motorcycle, like you
Correct.
said. But
Uh,
honestly, with the way that the world works and everything, the way you interact going into cars and stuff like that, and the first person shooting, I see why they decided to make it first person. Although I would have still preferred the option to have third person at all
correct.
times.
Correct. Something like what game am I? Skyrim. You know, they give you the option to go third person.
Yeah, Skyrim is kind of like the opposite. It you can go third person, but it looks kind of stupid.
It does, but something kind of like that.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
you can actually mod it that way, but then it's the same
well,
problem where it wasn't
eh,
made for it, so the animations are absolutely atrocious.
again, like GTA 5, you can go first person with GTA 5.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah,
they could have done it. They just, I don't know.
yeah.
But I agree. I completely enjoyed the game. I absolutely loved it. It was a lot of fun, but I ended up more upset than happy.
there was one particular moment, like pretty close in the beginning, that something shocking happened that you did not expect. I don't know if you expected it. I don't want to spoil anything. You know
No,
what I'm referring to?
does it involve my buddy?
Yes,
Yeah.
and that was such BS, man. I could not believe it. Why would they do this with this person? Build something so special and then rip it from your
Yeah,
heart. You know,
yeah.
that was really upsetting.
Yeah. So, but like over
It
like
was probably the most emotional part of the whole game.
Yeah, by far,
yeah,
actually.
yeah, like me, I never play a game when it first releases it, so I still haven't played Cyberpunk, so or CM Punk, but I hope to play it eventually. So hopefully they'll like once the bugs are out, but or you can give me your files, right?
Well, there's I think you should
For
wait
this one, you can have them.
for the they're gonna make DLCs, and apparently they're gonna add a new game plus an online mode. So I think it's worth waiting for this one.
It would be a cool world. Like they made a really cool world, which I think online something like GTA 5 would be awesome. Like I kept saying, I want GTA 5 in New City, uh,
Yeah, I think this is the best open world
Night
I've ever
City, sir,
played. Yeah, Night City
What did you say?
New City.
and
Uh,
C.
Well, yeah. So, like, I guess just to wrap it up, how do you feel about the way CD Red handled the hacking? Was
I
it?
don't
Was
know
it? Do
about
you
that.
think it was good for them to like not give in?
I
I'm
would
not
say
even
so.
I'm not even all that familiar with that story. So
Yeah. So apparently they refused to comply to terrorists, and eventually
oh,
the
was it
hackers.
ransomware?
Yeah, the hackers eventually sold it like on the black market or whatever,
Uh,
or they sold it, but we're not really sure. Like they probably sold it to like who would buy it? Like I don't think an American company would buy it because they know that they'll get
sued.
sued if they use it. So it would have to be like a Chinese company or something like that
Who knows?
because we don't get jurisdiction over there.
I'm
It seems,
wondering
seems
why.
a bit convenient.
China owns us, so
Yeah,
Seems a bit convenient that when they're having all these issues, this
right.
happens to them. Yeah.
Please feel sorry for us,
and the one company that's doing a thing about cyber wars and stuff and hacking, it happens
right?
to them.
Yeah.
The
You would
irony.
think they'd know something about it, cybersecurity.
All right, man. Any last thoughts about everything we talked today? I think it was more of a this was supposed to be a laid back, but I think we got into some good stuff. How about the chat? The chat's going crazy.
Chat is. Oh, I have it on private. I don't have it on comments.
Oh,
Hold
I
up.
had it on
Let
private
me.
too.
Yeah, there's no
Uh,
there's no chat.
there are the comments. They are going to be flowing in anytime
Yeah,
soon now.
And
all
Anytime
the
now.
all the comments are being made by John Cena. We can't see them.
They're just writing a lot. They're still
Um,
typing
Yeah, it's just going
as
crazy.
we
But
speak.
I just have to tell people, um, PS5. Don't spend $1,800. Don't spend $1,000 on a damn PS5. Like,
don't spend $500 on it.
no, yeah, you can spend $500. I think it's worth it, but right now it's not worth it. Like if you have a PS4, just keep using that because there is not a single game out there that's really worth anything, and
Right.
I don't even know of any that are coming out anytime soon. Uh, like I got it just because I know that eventually I'm gonna want it, and I had the opportunity, so I went for it. But
I think
really, like,
even after this year, there might not even be enough games worth playing.
yeah,
So I think the smart
like
thing to do is just to hold out for now. Or if you really need it
the,
that bad, just use the
the,
tracker.
this is really sad right now. Like I don't remember any time in the past where a new system has come out and there's really no games that I want to play on it.
Well,
What about the original PS3? Because that was like a big meme back in the day that the PS3 didn't have any games. I don't remember the launch games for that.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
like what would you call a poor release? Like how many games? Like I know
Well,
like the GameCube had like like just like Smash Brothers and was it the
correct,
GameCube?
and I should be used to that because of Nintendo. Like again with the Switch, uh, I had Breath of the Wild, and I had that for like a year, so I shouldn't complain. Like I guess there are some PS5 games. They're just not games that I care about. But
Yeah,
like I don't see any of those good games that really sell. like the Last of Us type of games, or the Uncharted type of games, or even the God of War. Um,
Well, there's Valhalla. Isn't that a God of War game? Am I am I,
no,
am I bugging?
Valhalla is Assassin's
Assassin's
Creed.
Creed.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm getting. Yeah, you're right.
So
There,
Not
so
you
only
got
yeah.
this,
caught.
Sony just announced that they're gonna bring another one of their exclusive titles to Steam, to PC. I mean, Days Gone,
Yeah.
and they've already brought a few of their games like that. The one with the mechanical dinosaurs and uh Miyamoto's game.
All I know is the PS5 should bring back Parappa the Rapper,
Parappa the Rapper and
Right.
so you can make beats.
You know, if they keep releasing their PlayStation exclusive to PC, I might not even have to get one. So it's good news
yeah.
for me. I mean, I don't know. I still want a 4K Blu-ray player though. That's a big deal. But the Xbox also has that. So at this point, I think I'll just get whatever I find first that's actually available, since they're all gonna release their games on PC anyway.
Yeah.
Or
I
you
don't
can
know.
just get a dedicated Blu-ray player.
Yeah, but I also do want the option of being able to play the games
So
though.
so you would have to get a. So you're saying that you're a physical copy guy. Like you have to get the disc.
Nah, no, not necessarily. But the reason I bought a PlayStation in the first place was because of the exclusive games, and
Yeah, that's
Xbox One barely had any that were worth playing, whereas PlayStation had a ton.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, right now, there just isn't anything that I'm excited about. Now, again, that could just be me. Maybe I just don't play that much anymore, or maybe companies just don't care about me as a as a consumer.
yeah.
Uh,
They don't want your money, man.
What would you classify yourself as?
A
well, again,
casual.
I really enjoy those type of games, like the original Last of Us, because I think that the Last of Us 2, I didn't even play it because it looked like they completely messed up the
Yeah,
story.
no, I agree.
Uh, so I didn't even play that one. Uncharted games I absolutely loved, but then they decided to go ahead and end the series, even though that was easily, in my opinion, their best series. Uh, the God of War was on the PS4 was good, so at least having that on a PS5 would have been nice, like a new God of War. Um, those are the type of games that I'm into.
Or Grand Theft Auto 6.
Grand Theft Auto 6 would have been nice. Uh, or at least like a PS5 legit version of Cyberpunk would have been nice, but right now they don't even have that. Uh, or like a PS5 version of GTA 5.
How
Uh,
backwards compatible is the PS5? I know you can play some PS4 games on it. What about
I
I think that's
PS3?
it.
That's it.
I think it's
Uh,
just PS4 games, but I think you can play pretty much any PS4 game.
Hmm.
I could be wrong,
well,
but
then that's another advantage to Xbox, because Xbox is doing really well with their backwards compatibility. You can play OG Xbox games on it. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, but I don't want to play any other games. So
They have
that's
Yeah,
my.
some. They have some good games.
yeah, but I'm just saying in general,
Oh
as
no,
far as
yeah,
it might be
I
a selling point for some people,
Yeah.
especially if they have a bunch of old games still that they haven't
Yeah.
gotten rid of.
Yeah, because then you can get rid of like the Xbox One and the 360. You know, you can hand those off
Mhm.
or do whatever, and you just have one system that can play them all.
That are just taking up space.
Yeah.
the one thing that I will say I liked, at least in theory, about the Xbox is their quick resume option, where you can have up to, I think it was like 5 games, and then you could quickly switch between them. I thought that was cool. I wish the PS5 had that.
It doesn't.
Uh, it does not, unless it only has it for PS5 games. But I haven't been able to switch.
to try
Like
it.
correct. Like I right now I've only played the Spider-Man game, Astrobot, and the Persona 5 Royal. But whenever I go to play another game, like between those three, I always have to basically close the previous one. So
Yeah.
I got another question about the PS5. Can you lay it horizontally?
you
Yeah.
can. It looks like crap, but you can.
Was it built with that in mind or no?
Yeah, like it comes with a little plate that you can put on the bottom
You have to put the
and
plate
lay it.
though.
You have to put the plate, yeah, but it is an option. Just doesn't look great.
Yeah,
But
I mean that would look. That it definitely looks better, like standing up
yeah,
in its grotesque glory. I
it
don't like
doesn't
how it
look
looks.
that bad. Like
I hate the white panels though. Like I seen when they switched them with the black panels, and it looked a lot better to me.
see, to me, I thought the white panels look better than just the black, because I don't know if we're talking about the same ones, the black ones from
D
from
brand.
D brand. Yeah, I would have been excited if those black ones would go perfectly with the inside mold, but they are the exact same size as the white ones, like the exact same shape.
I see you mean.
Uh,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah,
Yeah, it would. It definitely would have looked better
correct.
if it matched. Yeah.
Um, but no, if it's gonna go out like that, then I prefer the white ones. But yeah, definitely some black ones, simple black panels that doesn't go past the inside frame.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah. True that. All
Uh,
right.
what else is there?
That was all.
That
It
was
was
all.
written.
You got everything on your notes.
Yep. Well, there's a couple other things, but we can go on for hours, and
Yeah, we already
we
went past
we
the
need to
hour
save
mark.
it. So like one of the things we wanted to talk is what's it called? No, Valheim.
Vowing.
Oh,
But
we-
you guys can watch us on our streams every Monday at what time? Like 8 or whatever,
8:30 ish,
8:30 ish. You
are
can
those
those are
live
live.
streams?
and in living
Yeah,
color.
it's a pretty good game. Check it out, and then we can once we play a little bit more, we can talk about it next on the. I'll put it in the docket.
I was asking Ekis if that's like a really old game because of the graphics. It looked like a really old game, but I guess it's a Minecraft wannabe type of game.
Yeah, there's a lot of crafting. So
Yeah,
it's like a soothing game. Like it's quite relaxing, unless it does get tense at times. But for the most part, you're just like building a house. Just the ability of you living out how people used to live back in the day without any other burden.
if you ever played Dark Souls, it's kind of similar to that. So it's like a mix of Dark Souls and Minecraft.
So if you die, you have to go back to the.
Yeah, you
To
get
where to
to
pick up
collect
your
your
tombstone.
gravestone. Not your souls, but yeah, the combat is also pretty similar to Dark Souls. And keep in mind, it's very relaxing, but that's because we're in the noob area. We haven't ventured out into the
Yeah,
when it starts getting real.
yeah, we're still noobs, but
We're
yeah,
still in
check us out.
Milwaukee. We haven't gone to the hood yet.
So that's Monday.
Those are Mondays, so we want to do like every Monday. We're gonna do some streaming, and then maybe eventually we can quit our jobs and stream every day.
Yep, that
Yeah.
that's
That's the
that's
dream.
gonna happen.
That's the dream.
Ain't never gonna happen, but I still have to be flipping burgers at Burger King.
Even if
There,
it
there.
does happen, we're eventually gonna hate that job too.
Yeah.
It's not a
Oh,
job.
streaming, playing games.
I don't want to play a game
I want to flip burgers.
at Burger King, not McDonald's.
I
Not
want to
very.
deal. I want to deal with people.
I want to go back dealing with people. Nah. All right. That's what,
Alrighty.
we're done. This was this was Ekis. Everybody
Stuff.
I'm Vic.
Preem, the ratings killer.
back. It's funny because he did kill our ratings last time.
Yeah, was that the official last
Preem,
show? we did?
aka the voice.
No, you. I think you were in the last 3 episodes. Those are check our old podcast from like
Oh, yeah.
2013. We had this same cast, and then we're back with a vengeance. We'll have better graphics next time. All our budgets are going into the streaming, so that's where our budget is being spent right now.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
This hat was $10, so that was
That
part
was
of the
half
budget. All right, that's it. we need that awkward.
We have this graphic,
Oh, there we go.
which was
That's-
like $120 right there just for that.
Yeah, that's the other half of the budget. Because as you can see, it's the logo of the company we're streaming is still up here because it's the free version.
That right there. There it is.
There we go. All right, the neighbors are telling me to wrap it up. All right, you guys everybody take care. Don't go too crazy in the chat. All right.
All right, y'all chill.